Okay, sorry. In this presentation, what we're going to do is look at the spring 2010, as in 09-010. Uh, Question 4a. This is we have to compute the area bound by the quadratic expression y equals 4 minus x squared and the line y equals x plus 2. Just a sort of quick remark, the fact that I know that the orientation, as in, which is to say this curve is pointing up, it comes from the fact that we have a minus sign in front of the x squared there. That's how I know it's a sort of um, the particular shape of that quadratic expression, or that quadratic curve, rather than something like that. In a case like that, the coefficient of x squared would be positive. That's just a sort of by the by. So other than that, I'm not. This is just a vague sketch. I'm not too quite sure where the x-intercepts or y-intercepts are, but it just general gives a general idea of what the curve would look like. So what we're asked to do is find out the area, the shaded area. Now this is a definite integral question, so we actually have to know our limits for x and y. And again, it's not the scale here really, but so essentially what we have to do is find out this line here, this vertical line here. That would give us, that's essentially give us the line from the x value of the first point of interception between the two lines, or the curve and the line. Here's the second point of interception, and what we're interested in is the x value for that. So we're looking for x equals a, x equals b. We're looking for the values a and b. Okay, so how do we find them? Well, we let the two expressions equal each other. So y is equal to 4 minus x squared, and y is equal to 2 plus x. Okay, so let them equal each other. 2 plus x equals 4 minus x squared. Working that out, what do we get? We get, I'll just write it over here, x squared plus x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, what we got to do now is factorize that, and we get x plus 2 and x minus 1. Let that equal to 0. So those are our values for a and b. X is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 1. So let's just go back there. This is minus 2 and this is 1. And as I said earlier, it's not really perfectly to scale. Now, what we're going to do now is sort of determine the boundaries of this area. So it's underneath this line y equals 4 minus x squared. Okay, it's underneath that, and it's above y equals x plus 2. It's above that line. Okay, and again, actually, sorry, this is actually sort of a very important point. The fact that I know that this is an upward pointing curve came from the fact that I had a minus sign here. That's I can't. I actually should put more emphasis on that, and therefore I know the rough sort of idea of how this what this curved area would look like just reading from the question. Okay, so the upper bound is 4 minus x squared and the lower bound is x plus 2. So we're ready to set up our expression now. So it's area from minus 2 to 1, and the upper bound is 4 minus x squared, and the lower bound is minus x plus 2 dx. By the way, if you actually get that back to front, if you actually say x plus 2 minus 4 minus x squared, put it the other way around, you'll get a negative answer. You just sort of say this is a negative answer. Obviously, they got the bounds wrong, so just make it a positive answer. Just that'll. It's not a major deal. But anyway, let's continue on. So that is equal to, if you work it out, 1 minus 2 are limits. 4 minus x squared minus x and that would be plus 2 dx if you just work it out like that. So the answer is minus x cubed over 3 plus x squared over 2 plus 2x. And let's put in our limits: x equal to 1, x equal to minus 2. Okay, so all we have to do is evaluate that. So minus x cubed over 3, just to make more room, I'm just going to rewrite it here. Minus x squared over 2 and plus 2x. 1 and minus 2. So, okay, so evaluating that for 1, we have minus 1 cubed over 3, that's just 1 cubed, over 1 over 3, minus a half, plus 2, okay. And now we're going to evaluate it for minus 2. Now be very careful with the signs here. Minus 2 cubed is minus 8 over 3. Okay, but later on you're going to you have a double negative, so it'll sort of cancel itself out a bit. Just be careful of the signs, essentially. Minus 4 over 2, so minus x squared is plus 4, and we have that minus there again, just to put it back. So minus 4 over 2, and finally plus 2x, so that is minus 4. Okay. Now, again, just be careful with the signs. Okay, be very careful. Double check your answer. So I'm going to work this out, but essentially it just resolves to a bit of calculator work, and I get the answer 4.5. Okay, or 9 over 2. Okay. If you get a negative answer, for example, you get minus 4.5. You just got the idea of the area wrong. You got a negative area, but it doesn't really matter. Just sort of, you can, as long as you double check your answer, the sign won't matter. If you get a different answer, though, if you get 3 or 6 or something like that, then you got it wrong. But if you get a minus 9 over 2, you just sort get a negative answer. The minus sign isn't a major deal. Just say plus this. Okay, that's it.